Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of The Beauty of Gray. I am so excited to be joined by my co-host, Michelle. Michelle, say hello.
Hello.
Rachel's very bossy today. So
That's okay. I'll allow it.
So what I'd like to do first for our first episode is kind of let's talk a little bit about ourselves, what we hope to gain out of this series, and what our hope is for the listener. So Michelle, I'm gonna start with you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and all the amazing things about you. She's like, I'll
Oh,
be here for
goodness.
7 hours. Well then.
Hair toss. Well, I'm a witch.
Which is why we're doing the series.
Yeah, it's kind of an important thing.
Yeah.
But I'm a practicing witch. I own Bad Omen.
Yes.
Also AKA Bad Women, as people keep they're like, oh hey, I see the W in there. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I love
Yeah.
it. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of my life is
Yeah.
witchcraft and Bad Omen and being, always trying to be a badass witch.
So Michelle, as being a badass witch, so I do want to ask you two questions.
Yeah.
What type of witch are you, and how long have you been practicing witchcraft?
Okay. Very good questions. So I typically, like, I don't usually adhere to the label of what kind of
Yeah.
witch, but if I were to give myself that type of label, it'd be a gray witch, because I kind of teeter on the hence
That's our name.
the name there. Clever. Just because I like to balance the dark and the light. I am not so much a light worker as I am, someone that works predominantly in the dark. Like, I like to do both. It makes the most sense to me. And then I'm sorry, what was your second question?
How long
Oh,
have
how
you
long?
been doing this?
See, it's debatable. I have been actively practicing. I would say probably on and off since I was 12.
Nice.
Maybe a little bit longer,
Nice.
but really and truly practicing and diving into it and really knowing my shit. The last like 6 years.
Okay.
But like, it's been the majority of my life. It's definitely something that once you kind of like hear that calling,
Yeah.
it's really kind of undeniable. And it kind of like just occurred to me one day. Like, I was like, oh, this is who I am. Okay. This makes sense.
I love that. And I'm grateful to have crossed paths with you because I am a energy healer. I do readings. I do a lot of stuff working with the guides and the angels and the teams and all
Yeah.
that fun stuff, which I love. I love. But I've always been fascinated by witchcraft, and I will say that it's something that I have it honestly, and when I think about it, it's probably one of the things that started my spiritual journey was witchcraft and really
Absolutely.
like being exposed to because I lived with, a Wiccan. I lived with, you know what I mean? And I was
Mm-hmm.
16 at the time. So, I mean, this is a long time ago. And she exposed me to a lot of amazing things. And I never really found a mentor such as yourself or a teacher to kind of really dive into it. So
Yeah.
I am excited to kind of learn more about witchcraft. And the other thing is like I love the fact that you're in the gray. And I feel that a lot of spiritual work is also in the gray because it's not all light, it's not all dark. In order for us to
Absolutely.
find balance, we need to be in the gray.
Yep.
So I am super excited
Yes.
to learn a lot from you and also bring in my own knowledge base as well.
Absolutely. No, I am totally down. Like, I am so excited for this too.
So what is your hope or maybe intention that the listeners get out of this brand new series that we're having?
Well, I really want to get rid of kind of the gatekeeping that's around
Yes.
witchcraft. Because there is just it's I've noticed with a lot of seasoned witches that they don't want to give up their secrets, so to speak.
Gotcha.
And they kind of like living in the shadows. And that's okay. Like,
That's okay.
I mean, I find it very comfortable living in the shadows as well. However, it's witchcraft shouldn't be scary, and it should be
Right.
something that should be celebrated,
Mhm.
and something that is just another way of life for
Yeah.
people. So, and definitely also because I want to just really quick, so I'm not Wiccan.
Gotcha.
So Wicca and witchcraft are two totally different things.
She's like,
Wicca
oh
is,
girl,
what was that?
oh girl, you're teaching me now.
I'm just a little something. Well, because Wicca is a religion. It
Gotcha.
is definitely very obviously very deep seated in witchcraft,
Gotcha.
but witchcraft as a whole,
It's
there
totally
really is
different.
no religion. There's no, it's all
I love that.
encompassing. We can just kind of do whatever the heck you want.
I love that.
Um, there are rules, so to speak,
Yeah.
but you don't really have to adhere to them if you don't want to. It all depends upon the witch. It all depends upon the person.
Yeah.
But I definitely, I really want people to understand that, and understand that there is so much that can be done with witchcraft that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily involve things that people typically think are bad or evil.
Yeah.
It really, because it's not the craft, it depends upon the person.
I understand that.
And that's something that I really want people to understand,
Yeah.
and to understand that it's, if they, even if they don't want to be a witch, that they basically they practice witchcraft almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Witchcraft is all about nature, and connecting with spirit, and
Yeah.
connecting with nature, and kind of feeling one in that energy. And um it's something that is practiced a lot by people on a daily basis, and they don't even realize it.
No, that makes
So
complete sense because I do feel
yeah,
like blending of a tea mixture to make you feel better, putting
exactly.
essential oils and intuitively selecting which oils are for my best and highest good, what
Yeah,
crystals are for my best and highest good. Like you said, tapping into
absolutely.
that energy and really, making your life more fulfilled, I think is probably one of the goals of it. And the other thing I know that we both want to do is we want to normalize witchcraft and we also want to
Yes.
humanize it because like you
Yeah.
said there, and even me, like, I mean, I'm older and this is like 30 plus years ago, that I was
Yeah.
introduced to this, and it, like you said, it was behind closed doors and you had to be invited in, and it was almost like it wasn't an accessible thing.
Absolutely.
And now, because there's mentors such as yourself that are, making themselves visible and available for teaching, which is amazing. But the pendulum has swung far in that there are a lot of people online,
Yes.
maybe teaching unsafe practices or
Absolutely.
things they don't really understand. And
Yeah.
I think that that's something else that we kind of want to talk about, and in future episodes, like who's legit.
It definitely, oh my gosh, definitely. Like witch talk, like don't get me started. Like there,
She's
don't
like,
get me
oh
wrong,
girl,
there's definitely people on witch talk on TikTok
yeah,
that are wonderful, good humans
yeah,
that like we could get into
of
in
course,
future episodes and stuff.
yeah,
But there are definitely people that just don't know what they're talking about.
no, and
And
yeah,
it's
no,
just, and like I actually I had a little there was a little instance the other day about, there were these two witches on TikTok that were talking about, they were actually kind of like making fun of people that didn't really know
oh,
about a certain herb. They're like, oh, you can use this herb for everything, and they're like, no, you don't like, but then they didn't explain as to why.
yeah,
And like that's a lot of like that kind of encompass a lot of what I was like, this is why I want to do what I want to do,
yeah,
because there shouldn't be, I don't
and this
want
is
people to feel weird about asking questions.
absolutely. I
And
mean, yeah,
if you're wrong, you're wrong. Just
right.
okay, then you're wrong, and then you find out the right information, and you're done.
And also, like you said in the beginning, like we kind of want to, unlock the gate to gatekeeping. And if
Yeah,
you're gonna say don't use this herb, but don't tell me why, how is that helpful to anyone? I mean, what if it's
exactly.
poisonous? What if it's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you don't know what you
exactly.
don't know. And I mean, you have a lot of books, I have a lot of books. We obviously are not going to know everything,
Oh
and
no,
but
it's impossible.
it's impossible. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's what, mentors and books and discernment and everything that we're going to dive
Yep.
into is going to help you to really kind of walk down this path, and also different ways of, witchcraft, and maybe you'll feel more comfortable with this. And I know the other thing is, and this is one of Michelle's thing, is that she wants soccer moms are welcome. Seriously,
Yes. Yes, like, oh my gosh, I feel like soccer moms need it the most sometimes.
Dealing with their
Because I just
kids.
want to be like, honey, I swear you can live a nice, calm, serene life and
Oh, I
still
love that.
be chaotic and it can be okay.
I mean, honestly, and that's what we need right now. We need more peace. We need, and I think the other thing is that, with delving into this is also the aspect of community and bringing together people who are looking to open themselves up for more knowledge and more awakening and more
Yeah.
connection and different skills. Like, I'm excited to learn about a spell. Like,
Yeah.
I'm fun. Like, I'm good with energy. I'm good with a lot of stuff. But hey, I'm excited to jump down this road. It's gonna be fun.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, like, heck, like I'm still excited. Like when I come across a new spell, like it
Yeah.
is it is just it's one of those things where like, and that's why I love witchcraft, is that it is so ancient, but it's still evolving.
Yes.
And it's just there's so much that you can do with it, and there's so much to learn from it. And there's
Yeah.
it because like it takes from everybody's practice and their cultures, and it's such a
Absolutely.
beautiful, beautiful way of life that I really want people to understand that and bring that to them.
Yeah. And not be scared.
Yeah, like it's all
We're
right. I mean, trust me, there are definitely some scary things involved there, but that's why you want like that's why like I want to be like, okay, these are the protections that you need to use in
yes.
order to go forward with that.
Yeah.
This is what, here's like X, Y, and Z so that you don't get a demon. Like, you know,
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I try.
No, thank you. Michelle, anything else that for our introductory episode that you want the listener to know or that you're looking forward to or anything else?
Well, I definitely, I mean, kind of recapping what I was just saying, like
Absolutely.
I want people to feel comfortable. I
Yeah.
want them to feel comfortable. Like my main goal when I started Bad Omen is just to just create a community where
Yeah.
people felt safe to come to me or to other people within that community. And this podcast is just furthering it.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
this is just continuing on with like building that community and hopefully getting people to understand that this is not a scary way of life or a way of life to make fun of, because
That
that's
too.
another thing that a lot of people like. I mean, I make fun of myself all the time. That's half of my content is like just posting about
Yeah.
ridiculous things. But I want people to understand that it's like, while I make fun of myself, I take this very seriously.
Absolutely.
And because it is my everyday life. No matter if I cast a spell that day or not, it doesn't matter. It is every day for me. It is a way of life. It's not just something that's there. So
I
yeah.
am super excited. I have chills.
Me
I
too.
I am once again like I'm grateful that we have met and that we're on this
Me
path
too.
together because I do feel like it is going to expand out knowledge. It's going to
Absolutely.
normalize things that people may not feel very comfortable with,
Mhm.
humanize, witchcraft. And also, like you say, is we're gonna take the lock off of gatekeeping
Yeah.
and open that gate.
Exactly. Like it's just like, dear Lord, like throw open the gates, man. Who the heck comes in? Like, and if because that's the thing is like, when no matter with any of this stuff type of stuff, you're bound to get people that are going to come in that are
Yeah.
going to be, they're not going to be for it, and they're
And
they're
that's
just they're just
fine.
coming in just to
Yeah.
say something, and that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
all right, and then you give me an opportunity to counteract that. And if
Absolutely.
it just ends up being an argument, then ends up being an argument. But that's okay. But like that's the whole point. Like this should be a discussion. This should be something
Yeah.
open for people to feel comfortable to talk about.
Absolutely. I'm very
Yeah.
excited. And the other thing is that we're also going to be bringing on guests and
Yes.
I'm super excited about guests and just
Yes.
more, just really, like you said, just opening it up and having an awesome conversation and seeing what comes through. And I also know that we're going to be diving into the history, talking
Yep.
about what's happened in the past and how to kind of course correct for the future.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm so about it. I'm so excited.
Well, Michelle, I hope you have a good night.
You as well.
And we look forward to talking to all of you soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.